This is the oldest trick in the book in investing, right? If you want to buy something in size, like if you are Julian Robertson wanting to buy a lot of copper, or George Soros wanting to buy a lot of the pound, you don't go buy it and then tell everybody, I just bought some. Don't you want to be like me? No, 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 no. You short it and you spread rumors that it's the worst thing you've ever seen and that no one would ever want to buy it. And you crash the price so you can buy more.
It's been 10 days since BlackRock, the world's largest asset manager, applied for a spot Bitcoin ETF with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC. As a result of the Wall Street giant's reputation with regulators and the timing of the application, just after the SEC sued Binance and Coinbase, several prominent members of the Bitcoin community immediately communicated their distrust of the whole process. Matt Huggan, the chief investment officer of Bitwise Asset Management, gloomily predicted that the future of crypto will be more BlackRock and less Binance. Renowned Bitcoin podcaster and author Preston Pysh took to his Twitter account to allege that the suits against Binance and the increasing involvement of Wall Street giants like BlackRock, Citadel, and Charles Schwab is one giant inside job. The tweet, which now has over 16,000 likes, reads, "I'm sorry, but after watching BlackRock, Fidelity, Citadel, Schwab, and now Deutsche Bank all apply for Bitcoin ETFs, spot exchanges, etc. only a few days after the SEC drops a TRO on Binance and sues Coinbase, how can't you think this entire past year was a giant inside job coordinated between the Wall Street parasites and government regulators so they could catch up?" Pysh and the over 16,000 Twitter users that liked his tweet are not alone in their belief that many things were done last year to bring down crypto asset prices before these Wall Street giants begin showing their interest in an industry they all previously maligned. During a recent interview with the 3-2 Warrior Academy team, renowned hedge fund manager Mark Yusko critically assesses the situation and what it means for the cryptocurrency industry going forward. Yusko, who had previously insisted that the FTX Alameda collapse was orchestrated by regulators and the traditional finance giants, believes BlackRock's ETF application is just one of the endgames of the "then they fight you" phase. According to Yusko, the Wall Street giants are using an almost exact copy of the same playbook they used for gold in their bid to delay the inevitable replacement of their trust system, crypto's truth system. Before we listen to Mark Yusko's delayed expert analysis on the subject, please take a little time to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on post notifications for more videos like this. Also, ensure you drop your comments and observations in the comments section below. Everything you do helps with the YouTube algorithm and immensely contributes to the channel's growth. Thanks and enjoy the video.
Everyone who is a big investor has been using this trick forever. And look, I'm unabashed about this. I guarantee you that Operation ChokePoint 2.0 is real. Yep. I guarantee you that this is a very large, very well planned, very well executed and orchestrated decision by the club to crash the price and allow them to delay the inevitable replacement of the trust industry with truth. Full stop. It's all a big plan. And my belief, right, is that Sam and Caroline were pawns. They were the useful idiots. They were not the masterminds. They were not the They were pawns, like the Manchurian Candidate, minus the chip, of a very large game by the very, very largest organizations in the world to take control. But here's the thing. You've heard me say, 2009 to 15 was the first they ignore you phase. Bunch of nerds and geeks playing with your magic internet money. 16 to 21, then they laugh at you. God, look at you idiots playing with this stupid stuff, magic internet money, whatever. 2022 to 2027, then they fight you. Y'all took $100 billion out of my bank. That pisses me off, and you're going to pay. And so $1 billion went into Celsius and Voyager and BlockFi. Who gives a shit? $100 billion? Now we got a fucking problem. You need to be shut down, and you need to be shut down, and you need to be shut down. And so, but here's the thing. If you're here, we've already won. We've already won. That's the cool part. the inevitability of decentralization, the inevitability of crypto, the inevitability of Bitcoin, the inevitability of a decentralized world, it's happening. And they can fight it all they want, but they're going to lose. Now, can they make our life miserable in the short run? Sure. Imagine being a wealthy person on April 5th, 1933. You had a bunch of gold bars in your vault, and you were deemed a criminal. Executive Order 6102, you're a criminal. Johnny, that gold you have, you're a criminal. You got to give it, you got to forfeit your gold to us, or we're going to arrest you. Did Johnny give him all his gold? Hell no. But he did live in fear that someone was going to show up at his door, with a gun even, and take the gold. So that's probably going to happen again. It's kind of happening now. But I think we're in a better place because collectively the communities that we're all part of are more powerful, they're more well distributed, and they're global. Look, 40% of the people in this world don't have a bank account. 40% of the adults on this planet do not have a bank account. We can help them. We can give them financial services through digital assets. And I want to be involved in, as I said, the ABCDs of the digital age: AI, blockchain, chips, and data. And investing in those things is amazing. And it literally is changing the world, and it's changing things for the better. And that's cool, and that's good. And that's why technology and innovation are my lifeblood, right? Innovation is an asset class. It creates all the other things that we all think of as assets: stocks, bonds, currencies, and commodities.
As Yusko has explained, there is a lot of good to be done for the world if the truth system is allowed to win against the trust system, which has so far only benefited the top 1%. They hold on to trillions of dollars for themselves annually, leaving only the tiniest trickles for the rest of us. And when an industry that can change that surfaces, they again spring up to take over and run it to the ground. During his interview, Yusko explains that all the allegations of money laundering against the cryptocurrency industry are just gimmicks to bring prices down and soften the ground for the Wall Street giants. The renowned hedge fund manager believes the same playbook was used for gold, which is now being heavily manipulated by this same set of people. Here are more clips from the interview.
The gold ETF took 3.5 years to get approved.
Wow.
3.5 years. Why? Because Jamie Dimon said no.
You're right.
Jamie's like, no freaking way are you having a gold ETF until I am fully short.
Exactly.
So I will get fully short. In fact, if you go through the JP Morgan documents from the global financial crisis, they were short 2 times the world's supply of gold. Because the futures market allows you to short paper commodities. That's why when you want to manipulate something, you create a futures market. That's why oil prices are manipulated. That's why gold prices are manipulated. JP Morgan pays $1 billion just about every year for spoofing the gold market.
Fines.
Well, wait a minute. How do they do it? And they don't have to admit they're guilty. They don't have to admit guilt.
Nope.
And they always say, but we made $20 billion, so it's just cost of doing business, 5%. So what happened was JP Morgan got short. Like, okay, now you can open up the ETF to take the long side of our shorts. And boom, gold goes up. And then everybody jumped in, John Paulson, all these others denominated all their stuff in gold. And then what's happened since? JP Morgan went back to spoofing it. So look, it's not a coincidence that the bear market in 2017 started the day of the creation of the Bitcoin futures ETF. It is not a coincidence that the day of the bear market in 2021 started with the approval of the Bitcoin futures ETF. Those are not coincidences. What those 2 events allowed was JP Morgan and BlackRock and et cetera to go short the shit out of those markets to depress the prices so they could buy. And yes, Larry Fink et al. Said that crypto is used by money launderers and terrorists. Why did they say that? I used to laugh at them. And I was like, oh, wait a minute. I didn't realize they had inside information because they are the ones doing the money laundering, right? The government sends the money to Ukraine. Ukraine sends it to FTX. And here's the crazy thing. It's on chain. Like in the old days, I want to buy off Johnny. I meet him in the park. I bring my backpack. I set it down next to him. I walk away. He's like, Mark, your backpack. And I just keep walking. He looks inside. It's full of money. And Johnny's now my friend.
That's how me and Johnny met, actually.
I mean, that's exactly right. And it's not traceable. If you're going to do money laundering, why would you do it on chain? So Ukraine sends the money to FTX. FTX sends it to Alameda. Alameda sends it to a shell company owned by SBF. And then he sends it to the Democratic Party. Are you freaking kidding me? On chain?
Can't make this stuff up.
You can't make that stuff up. That is money laundering. If you go to the picture of money laundering, that is it. So when Elizabeth Warren talks about it's used by money launderers, I'm like, yeah, by you. I have nothing against these guys. I really don't. And I don't really want to pick a fight with them.
No.
It does bother me, though, that they keep consolidating the wealth at the top, right? We have the highest wealth and income inequality in the history of mankind. And they appease the masses by saying, oh, we're going to give you UBI or we're going to give you, free handouts. And like, but this is wrong. I mean, it's wrong that a regulatory body waits for a member of the club to want to get in the game and then grants them approval. Now, they haven't been approved yet, but mark my words, they will get approved. And everyone said, well, why is that bad? I'm like, well, technically, it's not, because it opens the floodgates for greater adoption, right? The top of the show, or the top line at the top of the page here. And that's good. That is good. The fact is, it won't be evenly distributed.
There is little evidence to suggest that BlackRock and every other Wall Street giant that decides to apply for a spot Bitcoin ETF will not be granted approval by the SEC. What's confusing is what they plan to do next after securing a place in the crypto industry. Renowned author Saifedean Ammous raises a few suggestions in a Twitter thread while voicing his concerns about the lack of transparency of these firms. The first tweet reads, BlackRock, Fidelity, and large money managers are filing for ETFs. Will they get approved? Will they buy lots of Bitcoin? Will they rehypothecate their coins, diverting demand to fake Bitcoin? Will they try to change Bitcoin? If you hold your keys and run a node, it doesn't matter. In a follow-up tweet, Ammous adds, there are only 21 million Bitcoin, stay solvent, stack sats, and secure them, and it doesn't matter what BlackRock does. If they buy a lot, your coins become more valuable. If they divert demand to fake and rehypothecated Bitcoin, you get to stack cheaper sats until their Ponzi blows up. Will BlackRock try to use their stupid ESG scam to change Bitcoin, introducing inflation or stupid green mining scams at the protocol level? If you run your own node, you'll continue to have the Bitcoin you want. They'll just make a new fork which you can sell for real Bitcoin. What are your thoughts on Yusko's interview and the reactions to BlackRock's spot Bitcoin ETF application? Do you think this will change the growth trajectory of the digital assets industry? Please drop your comments and observations in the comments section below. Also, be sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on post notifications for more videos. Thanks for watching.